about that time. Wiki's in the house. Everybody, get ready to have your mind blown. I think where we should really start is with your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself for the people who may not know what's worth knowing.
Yeah, well, all right. My name's Patrick Morales. Wiki is my rap name and my nickname. I'm from the Upper West Side. I grew up in New York. I like to rap a lot. I got honor. Yeah.
You've lived a life, my friend.
What I live? What? A life or the life?
A life and the life.
Yeah, for sure.
So, tell me about what it was like coming up in New York, how you've seen things change, how that's influenced you as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think growing up in New York was something that was like, it's hard to separate, like, you know what I mean? Because that was just kind of regular. That's like how I grew up, you know what I mean? So it's not like, oh, this is how it was. It just like was how it was. But I think like New York, something about New York is like there's a lot of freedom you get, you know what I mean? So when you're young, you're able to like go and run around and experience so many different things and like just by like taking the train or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the whole city is yours kind of. So it's like, I feel like for me, that would help me be able to be creative, but not just like, oh, in a school setting or some shit, like to be able to go out and like be a creative person on my own or with my friends, you know what I mean? I feel like the city like lends to that because I don't know, like in the like burbs or some shit, it's kind of like, all right, you doing sports? Are you like good in school? Like, or what? Or then you might be just like a scrub. You know
100%.
But it's like in New York, there's more of that middle ground. So
more layers.
To me, I think that's like probably a good saving grace for me. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. And how about becoming an artist? Like, when did you get introduced to the arts, and like when did you realize that was something you wanted to push further?
With art, yeah, I've always wanted to be an artist, like a performer, like ever since I was hella young. So that's something that's like always been there. And then like once I kind of fell in love with hip hop and rap, then it became more like, oh, this is what I want to do specifically. But ever since I was young, it was like that.
Sick.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like the invention of sort of Wiki and the world that you reflect, like tell me about the genesis of that specific idea.
Yeah, well, I think that that all started from like a long time ago, probably like the beginning genesis of like Wiki and what that is, and like my character and who I am. But then also like Rat King, like going through that and having that be like the first group I was part of and shit, like that was like a big influence also in terms of like the identity and everything too, because it's like, you know, like that's the first group that really came out and people saw, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's like important places. I thought of it on some like Wu-Tang shit, you know what I mean? Like we were even creating a world with that, like with Rat King and like that, all the album art and those albums, the way they sounded, like So It Goes and shit. So
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mary Jane, about that time, we're here with Wiki. He just let you in on sort of the birth of Wiki, the character we now know and love. Our kind of opening segment here, we call it Roll the News. We talk about a couple things that have been catching headlines and discussed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And speaking of New York, Governor Cuomo just signed a bill to expand the New York medical marijuana program to include veterans and other people who are survivors of PTSD.
Oh,
so,
fire.
you know, getting weed in New York is a lot different than getting weed in LA, as we just said. What do you think about Governor Cuomo making that kind of step?
That's a great step. I think like it's good to, that's important, you know what I mean? Like every step counts, and those are people that I think can really use it. So
100%.
I feel like I fuck with Cuomo, you know?
I fuck with Cuomo. Governor Cuomo, you just got a fucking check from Wiki.
Yeah.
He co-signs your sign on that bill.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, and the truth of the matter is, if you look at California, like where did California start? California is about to go rec in a couple months, but where did we start? We started with a very like medical program, you know? So it's like people need access. New York, I feel like, is a little behind the ball on that. You know what I mean? And so it's like any step in that direction, I think, is kind of a positive one. So speaking of more people in the world kind of getting into this space and embracing kind of what's happening, you know, both on the West and the East, you know, Massachusetts just went recreational. Maine did as well, even though the governor of Maine hated it and vetoed the bill.
Wow.
But there was also a headline today about a Budweiser executive who just left Budweiser to get into the cannabis space, starting his own line of pre-rolls. And that's kind of coming on the tail of news that the parent company of Corona just dropped $191 million to invest in a Canadian weed company. Ooh. So what do you think about that? Do you like a crossfade? Do you like to drink a beer while you smoke a joint?
Yeah, love beer and weed together.
It's a good combo, right?
Yeah, I like beer a lot. And
what's your favorite beer? We can shout out a beer.
My favorite beer, I like Peroni. That's like
a Peroni. That's
I like a Peroni.
Next level, kind of Italian vibes.
You want me to just be like, that's just what, if I had to pick, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a nice cold Peroni on a hot New York afternoon,
yeah,
like
you know
that's a beautiful thing. We can spark that up too.
Oh, my bad.
No, we're rolling the news. That's what we do here. Mary Jane, about that time. Wiki, we're rolling the news.
I was like waiting to ask.
No, there's no permission needed.
I didn't know it was like, all right, now I like it.
When you're chilling with Mary Jane, there's no permission needed. We do it when it's got to get done, if you know what I mean.
No doubt.
I think you know all about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that the idea of alcohol and cannabis and those companies starting to get interested. I mean,
then it's also then you don't want it to become too much of like a, like big business type of thing,
I mean, I think that I think that's an important point because I think you're illustrating kind of the upside and the downside to the change that's happening, right?
Yeah.
Because before it was like all our homies were the people that we got weed from, you know what I mean? And now once it's viewed as a marketplace, those things changes, and a lot of the people who used to be
just the local
growers, what happens for them? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, that's their livelihood, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm sure that you know one or two people that maybe have supported themselves accordingly.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? That's a respectable profession.
Mm-hmm.
Be on the street, take a number, make it happen. But as things change, do you think that like alcohol is gonna undermine like the spirit of weed if like it gets too big and too commercial?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, exactly. It's like those are two different cultures, too. At the end of the day, like, you can enjoy both, but it's still like the weed culture and then the beer culture. It's like this, you know what I'm saying? So
I know all about it.
Once that mixes, I don't know, though.
Like, how would you feel like if you went to a concert and it was like at a giant stadium and it was, and weed was just like beer there? Do you think it's can it keep its cool? I think that's my main thing is
I don't think it's gonna be like that, or for a long time at least.
Right.
You know? Because it's like, even here, or when you go to the places where it is legal, like in Seattle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's still like, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's not the same thing. It's still like you go to this dispensary and you go get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like every shop you can just like cop it from. So I feel like it'll take, but I mean, that's just like you said, it's another step, so 30 years down the line, who knows?
20 to 30 years, yeah. I could see that. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen faster than people think, personally.
Yeah, to the point where it's like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
But I guess really my question is though, like to me, and I don't
like the quality then goes down, Because like now it's like the quality goes up because it's like, oh, it's legal, everyone can do it. But then it's like it gets so to the point where now it's like, oh, but if you go to this store, they only got the shitty ass weed.
Well, I think that's a really good point because if you kind of look at it, it's like, beer, there's just like mainstream beer, but there's also kind of like the craft beer movement and stuff like that. Yeah. So I guess there'll probably be a similar thing that happens in cannabis where you have people who are focused on this like mainstream commercial product, and then you got people that are trying to offer something that isn't in the marketplace with a more kind of boutique approach, or like organic, or like whatever else, sun-grown, biodynamic, like all these things that people can add to that mix to kind of make themselves stand out in the marketplace. What's your favorite kind of weed, sir?
My favorite type of weed? I don't give a shit as long as it gets you high.
Green weed, then?
Yeah, shout out my man Lubansky, Jack Herrera, that's his favorite, and I like it.
Matt Lubansky, getting a shout out about that time.
I just know he has a specific favorite, and I fuck with that shit too, so maybe I'll say that, but I just don't want to say that, and then it's like...
People call, oh, I heard this, I heard that. And you get
I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really give a shit that much. Like, I give a lot of shit, but it's like to the T, like to the specifics.
Mr. Lubansky and I even collaborated on a Jack Herrera infographic for Mass Appeal maybe like 3 years ago. So me and Lubans have been connecting on that Jack Herrera knowledge, trying to share it with the people. Matt Lubansky, you're getting a big shout out here on About That Time. Doesn't happen for a lot of people. Governor Cuomo, Matt Lubansky, you know what I mean? Once in a while, shit happens out here.
Facts.
So sometimes things happen on About That Time.
Yeah.
All right. So the next story that I'd like to discuss that came out on Mary Jane recently. It was last week. I don't know if you peeped the site. We had a sex week. It was pretty lit. A lot of people talking about a lot of things, cannabis and sex intersecting.
All right.
There was an article by Sophie St. Thomas where she came up with a formula for the best way to sit down and talk with an ex. And she recommends a nice microdose of cannabis and a cup of coffee in an intimate setting at home. Have you ever had to have like an awkward encounter with an ex, and do you think cannabis is a good thing that could have maybe enhanced that situation?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like to smoke whenever, you know what I mean? So
all the time, whenever.
Yeah, but and I'm trying to think though, like, I mean, yeah, but it's like, is that just she's just like?
I mean, that's
in
her
the weed.
idea.
If it's someone like, because I know people that if it was a certain person, they'd be like, that wouldn't be good for them. They just get hella paranoid, overthink. You know what I mean? Like,
they'll fuck it up.
It wouldn't be the best time to have
That's
that
true.
conversation, really. For me, it's like I'm regular on weed, so you know what I'm saying? It's
sure.
It's like,
but here's the question:
It really depends on who you are.
Are you regular around exes though? Because that changes the whole game. I mean, I don't know what you're like. You tell me. What's your relationship vibe like? You pretty chill with the exes? Does it get crazy?
Yeah, nah. I'm cool with the exes, man.
Okay.
But yeah, nah. Definitely in the past it could get crazy, you know.
It's hard to keep it positive sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
But if you can figure that out,
but nah, I would definitely smoke in the coffee. But then the coffee, that's the same. For me, coffee. If I'm drinking a coffee, I'm gonna already have to take a shit not long after that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not trying.
And that'll be awkward. You're like
I don't drink coffee. I'll drink like one sip. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
so,
sure.
To me, this is just a very specific thing. This person.
It's more personal than
like,
generally
yeah,
applicable.
I like to drink a coffee and smoke a spliff. Like, great. It's not like that everyone in the world, like, that's the greatest way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, especially...
maybe a cup of tea, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, a warm beverage.
Is that
in
what
general.
it is?
No. I mean, she said coffee, but to your point, not everyone wants to be taking a dump in the middle of a conversation with their ex.
You know, hot apple cider, tea.
Hot apple cider, tea. Peppermint tea.
Yeah.
You fuck with peppermint tea heavy?
Ginger and peppermint, yeah.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
No, in a
the
cold...
herbal, I don't like the caffeinated, because to me, I feel like, you know what I mean?
You get too up on that.
Yeah, I just like the way the herbs taste, the herbal taste.
We like the herbs. We like the herbs.
Yeah.
You know, there's a complimentary vibe right there.
Yeah.
Mary Jane, about that time, here we are with Wiki. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We just rolled the news. Now, I want to give a little bit of a shout out here, because rolling the news is not just about the news. Rolling the news is actually brought to us by a wonderful product known as the Weekend Box, which is basically a box full of many magical things, which I'm going to tell you, sir. Open this later, you won't be disappointed, because that's for you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
You rolled the news with Mary Jane about that time, and you got a Weekend Box. So you put it down. There you go. Wiki, the Weekend Box.
This is hard.
Very hard.
This is like some crazy packaging.
Crazy packaging. Yeah. Do you want to open it up? See what we got in there?
Yeah, for sure.
It's all right. It's like an unwrapping, an unboxing, guys. It's like a gift guide. Here, this is kind of uncomplicated to open. I'll get you right there.
Oh, there you go.
Boom. All right, so here we go. We're gonna see what's in the Weekend Box. Wiki's gonna let us in on some Weekend Box magic.
We about to leave tonight, man. Should have given this a week ago, man.
Here, you want me to help you with? Oh, there you go. You got it. You got it.
Okay.
It's an unboxing. This is kind of slick, right? All right, let's see what we got. I think you just flip it up right there at the front.
What? Oh.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, dude. Weekend Box. Oh, gee.
All right, yeah. Well, you were about to say you were gonna go get some edibles, but I think you may have gotten what you needed right there, bro.
I got it. The edibles. These 10 milligram each piece. All right, nice. That's good.
How many milligrams do you think you're in for with the edible dose?
I don't know. Like I was a little sick earlier this week, so I just was off the fucking. I got better because I had to stop smoking. Nah, I was off the fucking what are those joints called? I forget, but they're like 150.
150 milligrams?
250. Them shits fucked me up, man.
You took a 250 milligram dose?
Yeah, I was off the shit.
For like 3 days or like?
Nah. I just took it for one day. I like took two. One the first day, a second the second day. I be off the edibles because like I be making firecrackers and shit. You know about firecrackers?
Oh yeah, firecrackers are the peanut butter with the cracker and the weed.
Shitty,
that shit will fuck you up too.
I got the best recipe for that shit though.
Tell me what your firecracker recipe is, because I have a firecracker recipe too.
I like to use Nutella because it's better. I think it's fat. It's more fat. So
okay.
What the fuck? I don't know.
Okay, let's share with the people.
All right, so yeah, Nutella. Then
first, let's take a step back. First of all, if you don't know what a firecracker is, tell the people what a firecracker is.
Firecracker is basically it's like a shitty edible. So it's not like you make the butter and all that. Like I don't know how to do that. So I'm just like, all right, this is the best, easiest, quickest way to get an edible high. So you basically just take peanut butter, and you gotta be the natural peanut butter, not like just what is this shit, Jif or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, those are all.
So you gotta have the like juices, but I use Nutella. Then sprinkle weed on it, like on a cracker. You know what I mean? Then you gotta put it in the microwave for like 5 seconds. Then take it out. Then wrap it up in a tin foil. Make sure it's all wrapped. You gotta do the oven at. What is it?
It's like 250. It's not super hot. It's like warm.
No, it's not
like
250.
300?
320.
325.
320 but yeah, it can't be like that's.
It can't be hot. You're not toasting this shit.
320 for 22 minutes. That's it. And then you will be fucking smacked.
You will be. You'll have a good time. So
straight up.
When I was not living in a state where we had all these kind of consumer edibles, I was a big fan of the Firecracker. You know what I mean? Because I think if you're not in a legal state, that's the best way. You got a little weed around. You can make yourself a Firecracker real quick.
Do the whole thing.
But I will say it does the job.
It does.
But now you got to
consume. Out here, it's like it's fucked up because, weed pen, right?
Weed pen. Edibles.
Because out here, I'm like, it's so easy. Just like I have all these edibles. Like, this is just so, you know what I mean? It's fucked up, honestly.
I mean, it's easy to get fucked up for sure.
Like, why? Why? You know what I mean? Oh, I got a booklet on all the weed.
A weed booklet.
Weed guide.
You want to show the people your weed guide. You got a guide to your weed.
Guide to the weed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is some next level shit. This is like this is some like shit if you have a sore muscle. Weed. Put your weed on your muscles.
Shit, fire. I've been trying to get this. Does this actually get you high or no?
No, it just makes if you're like having physical pain, it actually it makes you chill. Cool. But it definitely has THC in it.
All right, sick. So,
cool.
Some more pens. My bad. Oh no, this is pre-rolls. Some pre-rolls. What is this?
Okay.
Oh, and then weed.
Share your photos. Yo, it's a glass piece. It's a one-hitter.
Oh, a pen. I need this shit too.
Yeah, writing rhymes, right? Getting high, writing rhymes, eating edibles.
Nah, I gotta write like notes down.
What are you notating?
Don't even work. Oh, here you go. I just gotta I want to get vitamins because I'm taking a flight.
What kind of vitamins do you usually take pre-flight?
Well, the best vitamins to me are they got this shit only in England though, or in Europe, the Baraka.
The Baraka?
And it's like crazy multivitamin, like, you know what I mean? But they don't have that shit here, so I just try to find the best multivitamin I can.
Okay, so just a standard multi.
And all that, you know?
None of the, but what about this kind of like airborne emergency? Do you fuck with that? This shit's too...
Airborne I heard it got proven that shit doesn't work, but emergency, people have told me the same, but honestly, I get the little itch, and I'll do a couple emergencies, and I'll be all right. But I feel like I don't know if it's just because I'm also drinking water and all this, but...
And it's kind of like cool. That shit's like kind of like Kool-Aid or something, right? It's like
I don't like the way
fruity
honestly,
flavor.
I don't like the way that shit tastes. I just drink it because
it's a little weird tasting.
It's just like that little weird, you know? It's like this soda where you have to put it in, you know when they have those soda machines and then they have those little cartridges where you like can squirt it in, like it never tastes right, you know?
Never tastes right. Just go with the original.
Yeah, exactly.
We're also smoking on some nice XJ13. That is a Jack Herrera.
Oh, lit.
Courtesy of THC Design, bringing it back. Jack Herrera, it's an amazing
I fuck with Jack Herrera.
lineage, if you will. So you just dropped a pretty amazing album.
Oh, good luck.
Tell me about the process. Well, tell the people about your album.
Yeah, the album's called No Mountains in Manhattan. I've been working on it for a little over a year. I'm just excited for it to be out and everyone to be able to hear it.
You got some pretty cool people on the record, too. You want to tell them who you kind of, like, collabed with on some of this shit?
Yeah, we got my boy, Your Old Droog on it. We got Ghostface Killers on it, which was like an honor to have him on the track, obviously.
100%.
Then I got a friend of mine, Evie Jane. She sings on it. I got my boy, LaCutis. Slicky Boy's on it. A-Cab's on it. I got also like I'm about to put out the fucking vinyls coming out too.
That's exciting.
Before the end of the year, the vinyl will be out.
Just in time for the holidays.
Yeah. And
I mean, recommend that as a gift, I think.
There will be bonus tracks on there too, so it's not what you know what I mean? So
you get a little extra.
Yeah.
So anyway, and if you're planning your holiday shopping, Wiki, No Mountains in Manhattan, on vinyl, bonus tracks.
The art's hard too, so it's nice to get on vinyl because you can see it.
Gatefold, you got the gatefold? Well, it'll be nice and big.
We did gatefold.
Well, either way.
Regular, but I'm saying it's like the cover, the album cover is a painting that was that size, so it's like
it's perfect.
It's perfect, exactly. You see me? So it's
a
like
beautiful thing.
To scale, you know, whatever.
So, put a year into the record. The record came out. Are you going to be doing some traveling in support of it? You also maybe you should tell the people who don't know. Again, Mary Jane, about the time here, we're with Wiki. Just dropped an amazing new album, No Mountains in Manhattan. You did a special tour leading into the release of the album. You want to tell the people a little about that?
Yeah, we did. We had a 5-borough tour, so we hit each borough for 5 days, like all 5 boroughs of New York, basically. And this is before the album, so we were doing some sneak peeks of some of the songs, shit like that. We had some like special guests for each borough out type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So it was dope to just be able to like do a kind of small, intimate show for every borough, you know what I mean, and really connect to them and make them feel like, oh, like he came out to us, not just like, oh, we got to go to downtown Manhattan or wherever the venue is, Midtown or wherever, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
To go to a show, or Brooklyn or whatever. So I thought it was it was definitely a good experience.
Were there any of the boroughs to you, like, I mean, obviously you came up in New York, so were there any of the boroughs where you're like, I like basically never go there?
Yeah, well, like Staten Island mainly, like the Bronx, I spent some time up there because my ex used to live up there and shit, and like Queens, you know, you be going out to Queens and shit, but like the Bronx, but Staten Island, it's like I don't think, I've been out there before just to like do this video shoot, like, you know what I mean, like,
right.
But nah, like never really.
And how was the vibe? How was the vibe with the streets of Staten Island?
Sick, like it was in a dope spot. It was like at a skate park.
I believe 50/50. Is that right?
Yeah. So,
shout out 50/50 Skate Club.
Oh, gee, thanks for having us. But that shit was sick because there was like the train behind us and shit. And there was like a bunch of kids. Like the kids that came out there, they were like especially hype. I feel like because they were like, yo, this shit is, you know what I'm saying? Like
representing.
Like, I don't know. It's like people don't always come out to fucking Staten Island, so it's like they were hype. You know what I mean?
100%. It's good shit. Well, I mean, here at about that time, it's like, you know, we like to share with the people. We like to get questions. So if anyone out there has a question for Mr. Wiki, throw them in the comments. One of the fine folks that is here, the crew that is about that time, they'll let us know. And if it's a good question, Wiki might answer it for you. If it's a whack question, he'll tell you, though. He's not answering any whack questions. No whack questions. Because this guy's all city. Staten Island, Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan.
Oh, day.
You got it.
It's lit.
What about traveling overseas? Is that something that you've done extensively?
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling with Rat King, like early on. Our label, or my label, my bad, is XL, so XL Recording. So they're based in the UK, in London and shit. So yeah, like we did a little mini tour, like a little promo tour for right at the album. But I think next year we're gonna go back out there. So
Europe, Asia.
Yeah. Europe, we're doing Asia too.
Is there anywhere you haven't
Australia
been to that you really want to go to?
I haven't been to South America before, and I haven't been to Africa.
Any spots in South America or Africa you're like
specifically want to go?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to go everywhere I can go. You know what I mean? I
mean, you're all city. You could be all world.
It's like I could say any of those countries. You know what I'm saying? Like I would want to go to all of them. I'm trying to just do the everywhere.
The everywhere. That could be the name of your tour, the Everywhere Tour.
Yeah. Oh, also like, a place I want to go, Ireland. I've been to Ireland, but only for like 10 hours. Like played a show and left and didn't get to see anything. Like played like a festival, left, boom, like in and out. So I want to actually be able to go to actually experience Ireland.
You have a little bit of Irish heritage too, right?
Yeah, Irish American Irish.
For sure, born in America.
That clear.
Totally.
So
but that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
My mom be on my case. She's like, everyone thinks I'm from Ireland. I'm like, yo.
Wait, your mom says that everyone thinks you're from Ireland?
She's from Ireland because I'm like, oh, I'm Irish because I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She's like, and also like she part Italian too.
So wait, she's saying you can't claim Irish though. She's calling you out as Irish American?
Nah, she's saying that it's confusing to some people because like if you go to Europe or like the UK and you say you're, like they think when you say Irish it's like that, but in New York it's like, oh, I'm Italian, you know, it's not like, oh,
you're from Italy.
You're from Italy. It's like, you know what I mean?
No, you're just repping that Italian lifestyle.
So, but yeah, you know, it is what it is.
So is there anything like from growing up that like you remember about Ireland or you like?
Well, I just used to really love like leprechauns and shit. Like I was like hella, and because you know my name's Patrick, I'm little, so I like wanted to be a leprechaun, or I thought I was a leprechaun.
Did you ever dress up as a leprechaun for Halloween?
That's the thing. Like I was a leprechaun, so
you already were a leprechaun.
I wouldn't dress up with the shit for Halloween.
So you're living
but
that.
I did dress up as a leprechaun for Halloween like recently because I
just let people know. Because some people don't always know.
Yeah.
About that time, Mary Jane, Wiki, he reps that leprechaun life, guys. Don't fucking forget it.
Oh, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you think what embodies the leprechaun lifestyle?
I mean,
you like that green, obviously.
Green, definitely green.
Keeping it green.
Fucking.
Lucky Charms.
Just like chilling out. I feel like drinking, right? Chilling out, like just sneaking around, doing their thing, causing mischief.
Does a leprechaun carry a shillelagh? Is that like a shillelagh? Like, is that what? The leprechaun has like a cane, like that you can like give someone a beat down, right?
Some shit, yeah. I think there's a shillelagh or some shit.
I don't know, but I mean, sometimes like
I used to be hella into it. I need to like. I feel bad now, I'm fucking up, but like, nah, like it, you know, it's interesting because it's like that's like some old folklore that's specific to Ireland,
right?
You know what I mean? And I feel like I've always been interested in folklore and things like that from all different types of places. You know what I'm saying?
But the leprechaun was one that stuck with you, especially.
Well, yeah, it stuck with me. The whole Irish thing, you know.
So, is there anything about leprechauns that I might not know that people you think would blow their minds that they knew about? Like, what is there like a kind of like leprechaun fact that people really need to be up on?
Fuck. I don't know. Man.
Not to get quizzy with you, but.
Nah, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Quiz.
You sounds like you went deep with the leprechaun life, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about like what's a specific fact.
I mean, they got the boots and the hat.
They got the gold.
They love the gold.
But it's like, no, isn't there some shit where it's like to capture the leprechaun, you gotta like follow the rainbow. You gotta follow the rainbow.
You gotta follow the rainbow, guys.
Anyone
out there who's trying to get that gold, if you're trying to get that gold, follow the rainbow. But it's Leprechaun Life 101. Yeah. Right there. You gotta know that.
They can disappear.
And they can disappear.
I think.
Is the leprechaun at the gold at the end of the rainbow? Like if you get to the end of the rainbow and find the gold, do you have to fight a leprechaun? Because that might be like an unintended consequence.
Possible. I don't fucking know, man.
I mean, because like you end up in a cave, you might have to fight a dragon. You end up at the end of the rainbow, you're like psyched, you think you're gonna get a bunch of gold. Now you have to fight a hardcore leprechaun who loves gold.
Yeah.
What about the movie Leprechaun?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's not really. That's like a horror. That's like a horror movie.
I'd agree with that. Do you
know
think
that?
It's
not. I feel like that's not the real. Like that's not really what the leprechauns are about.
What do you think the leprechauns are really about?
Like just, trying to get by just chilling and like getting, like they live their own lifestyle. It's like.
You got to respect the leprechaun lifestyle.
Exactly. It's not like everyone else is like they don't want to like necessarily. It's more chill, laid back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I see that, and especially like I think of Ireland as a country. Like I'm like this leprechaun creature. There's like green rolling hills, misty.
Mystical.
Yeah, it's mystical and misty and mystical. You can live that leprechaun life. You can just be chill. You don't have to be like an angry, scary, violent leprechaun. You can just be like a hella chill, mystical, gold-getting leprechaun.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you say that you're more like that latter leprechaun?
Definitely.
You're trying to get that gold.
I'm low key.
Low key getting gold.
Yeah.
You heard it here, guys. Wiki, Leprechaun Life, low-key getting gold.
Hey.
That's what it is. What else should we know about the album? I mean, was that a new process for you because you were doing it as a solo artist?
Yeah, for me, it was dope to be able to like do it as a solo artist, just because it was like my idea. So you know what I mean. I got to have like kind of full control over like everything that went into it. You know what I'm saying? And just like, I don't know, like. It's the second solo joint I did because I got like Lil Me, but yeah, No Mountains was kind of like for me it was a really like personal project, It's like I kind of needed to get this off, to move on and just keep making music and whatever else I'm gonna make down the line. But like this one was like very personal and specific and kind of like one story, one arch. You know what I mean? Versus like just like a dope album or something. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Everything was like very specific and like on purpose, and like anything that's there is like meant to be there. Like anything I took out is because it like didn't make sense with the like story. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you able to meet Ghost in the process of the collaboration?
Well, nah, he didn't record the verse there, but I met Ghost like a while back when we played like a show together and shit.
That's
At
chill.
NYC, yeah. It was a tight show. We were chilling with like him and Capadonna and shit after smoking.
That's pretty mellow.
Yeah.
Did you hip them to any like Leprechaun reality or?
Nah, bro, I wasn't.
They're in their own lane. Staten Island, bringing it back.
Oh, dude.
Right?
I did some dumb shit actually. I was like, we were smoking and I was like, it was in a dorm bathroom where the fucking, you know, like the automatic sinks are, and I like went to ash the shit. And like it hit the automatic sink, and then everyone was like Capadonna, and everyone was like, "Oh man, you fucked up!" Like, cause I got the joint all wet and shit. I was so bummed, bro. But it was all good. But it was still like I got clowned and shit. But it was all good.
If you get clowned by Wu-Tang here and there, it's all right. You know what I mean? That makes you stronger.
You gotta live with it, man.
Totally. You gotta let people know. You can't hide that in the closet. Like, yo, I majorly killed this joint and got clowned by Capadonna and Ghost.
Have it out there, you know?
Yeah, you don't want things to come out later. There could be scandals and exposés. You just gotta let this is what it is. Everyone kind of goes through life and things happen. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So anyone who's just joining us, Mary Jane, about that time, chilling here with Wiki, smoking some beautiful THC design XJ13 Sativa Jack Herrera, feeling good.
Yeah.
We rolled the news. We learned about Wiki's new record, No Mountains in Manhattan. And then Wiki, I mean, I think you may have a little bit of an indicator about what we do on About That Time, but we do have an astrology reading segment where we go through your chart a little bit and we kind of talk about some stuff. And you kind of tell me whether you think it's on point or whether it's not really on point. One key element to getting into the astrology zone is we bring up this salt crystal here. And we kind of give it a little bit of a new vibe, so we can kind of, really get into the astrological zone. You feeling that?
I'm feeling it. Yeah, who else had this?
Who else had this, guys?
The studio. They got him in the studio, right?
In some studios, they got him. Okay, so.
My bad. Yeah, that is like some mad cliche studio shit there.
But rightfully so. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those out there, I mean, you may not even know this, but Mr. Wiki is a Libra with a Capricorn moon and a Virgo rising.
All right.
How about that?
It's lit.
That's the kind of thing you can drop in conversation. People ask you, yo, Wiki, what's your sign? You say,
Capricorn, what is it again? Sorry.
You're a sun, Libra. You're a Libra,
Libra,
right, with a Virgo rising and a Capricorn moon.
Well, it's tight because who's a Virgo? Do we know any Virgos?
Mr. Nick is a Virgo.
Hey. But what does the rising and all that mean?
Well, as a general rule, and we could get into more specifics, but sort of the sun is your true self. The ascendant is sort of the way you present yourself to the world, and the moon is a reflection of your emotional self.
Sun is your true self.
Rising is how you enter the world, how you present yourself to the world, and your moon is your emotional self.
All right.
Cool. So one of the first aspects we could actually discuss is your moon in Capricorn. There's an element of this sign that says that you're attracted to politics. Do you feel like you are strong into politics at all? You have some political ideas?
Yeah, like I'm not an expert on politics, but you see me how that's like. You could be in you know what I mean? Like I've always been like had a knack for like debating and shit like that. You know, like debating in school, and like I feel like if I put more of a focus, I could have a good idea, and I could be kind of like on some shit like that.
So you feel like you could
like I'm the reason because I'm not like
no, you're not going to take a stance, but you're good at arguing a point, is what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe that has to do with that.
There you go. Can you think of a point that you debated recently? I mean, actually, there's a point that's being made to me that actually Wiki for mayor is kind of one of your things. So if you think about it that way, you're kind of trying to be. I mean, you're not even trying to be the mayor. I mean, technically, for mayor implies that there's an election, but you sort of the mayor. That's a thing. Tell us about the mayor.
Yeah, the mayor. That's a song of mine, and there's a video out too if you want to check it out. But yeah, the mayor is just kind of about, you know, it's like about like, you know, like in New York, like every neighborhood or like every block, there's like that guy who's like the mayor. You know what I mean? He just kind of runs the block or whatever. It's kind of like influenced by that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but then there's a lot of things coming into it. Also, it is like there's a political reference. Like there's the like Fiorello LaGuardia. Like he was like an old New York mayor who's like a big influence on me. See, so I am into politics. He's like my favorite mayor. He's like my favorite dude.
That's pretty sick. Tell us more about your relationship to Mr. LaGuardia.
So Fiorello LaGuardia was a real dope dude. He was like half Italian, half Jewish. So when he got elected, it really broke down the whole, like that was Tammany Hall. So it was like now this Italian dude, Italian Jewish dude. It's like like he was the first to kind of break it out of the Irish. You know what I mean? And he was like hella anti-corruption, hella like anti the mob and all this. And he like, but he was an ill motherfucker. Like little short dude. His nickname was the Lil Flower. That was like his name, because Fiorello meant flower, and he was a little dude. So Little Flower. There's like a park that, you know, there's a park.
LaGuardia.
Yes, Little Flower, and then LaGuardia. There's a ton of shit in New York, from the airport to the fucking school to the streets that are named after LaGuardia. But he was a dope dude, like even to the point where like, so here's an ill story about him, right? So before America was like fully anti the Nazis or whatever, you know, anti-Germany, like put it out there like, yo, fuck Germany, right? Before that, when it was just like kind of up in the air, you know, but it was like, you got to realize like a lot of these comics, the people that wrote the comics were like Jews, you know what I mean? So they had like Superman and all this like whooping Hitler's ass, but that was like, then they like boycotted, or they like banned it, or like they didn't let them sell those because they were like, this is like kind of propaganda, you know what I mean? It's like political, whatever the fuck. And Fiorello, like a G, went on the radio and read the comics to the kids so that the kids could read the comics. You know what I'm saying? Like just shit like that. Like no mayor does shit like that anymore. You know what I mean? But you can like look up ill videos of him talking. He's an ill dude.
An inspiration, even.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's a political element right there. Okay, sure. I fuck with it. Wiki for mayor, guys. If you didn't get to the ballot box, you can still get out there and vote. But being the mayor of the block, it's a little different, you know. But there's still politics involved, right? Yeah. You got any block politics stories?
Block politics?
I mean, you are the mayor. You must know about the politics on the block, right?
I mean, nah. I meant like just like that's a, you know what I'm saying? Like
I feel that.
But also like you could be the mayor on some like within like a group of people, you know, like
the homies.
Like you're just kind of always like in the middle of the shit, always trying to like connect everyone and all this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's very funny. It's very funny that you mentioned that, because I'm about to talk about Mars and Scorpio, which is also in your chart. He can be the leader of an organization or a union. If aggressiveness is self-destructive, it's going to fuck you up. But if you find an outlet for it, it's going to save you.
You heard that? Wait, can you tell them again? Aggressiveness, about the aggressiveness?
If the aggressiveness is self-destruction, it will fucking bring you down. But if you channel that self-destructiveness towards a goal, it's going to big you up.
That's hard.
That's good to know.
No, but that's for me specifically, right?
Correct.
All right.
That's your Mars and Scorpio. Do you think that being the leader of an organization comes naturally to you?
Wiki Enterprise.
Tell me about it.
It's an organization that I run, an enterprise.
Okay. What are you guys enterprising on?
Just
Wiki Life?
Music and art and more music and just, I don't know, the homies and shit.
I feel that. Has there ever been a time where like the homies? I mean, you know.
No, yeah, but everything, music, art, the homies, anyone that wants to get down with Wiki Enterprise, you know, let me know.
You can make things happen.
This is the beginning. You know, it just was formed.
Just was formed.
Yeah.
Birth of a movement.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
You got the hats though. There's Wiki Enterprise hats.
I didn't get one though.
Get that shit. My bad, G. Wait, we can get you though. Matt, hit up Lubansky. He'll sort you.
Lubansky, you better sort me with one of these hats.
Yeah, I was like, you cool with Lubanski? I was like, I don't have to take it. You know what I mean? You could just hit that man.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's my,
I feel you.
eyes and ears.
I like it. He's a good guy to have as your eyes and ears.
Definitely.
Uranus in Capricorn, a great battler, has so much power that one thinks nothing can defeat him. His mission in society, in the world, means everything to him.
That's facts. But this is just, I feel like, it's kind of like, of course, anyone would be like, true. You know what I'm saying?
But do you feel like it's really true?
I feel like it is. I mean, I don't know about the battling part because I'm very competitive, but in more of like when it's like one-on-one, I'll like bug out. You know what I'm saying? And like in sports and shit, I would always get mad shook.
Okay, so you think when there's a group element...
But I mean more like, it's like battle can be more of a metaphor. It could be more, it could be just like the battle throughout life, like trying to be the best at what you do. And
that's exactly. I think that's exactly
like,
what it means.
Even if it's not like, all right, you versus me right now, like that, I'll be like, oh no, I'm not ready for that.
Right,
like,
right.
The overall battle.
The battle of ideas.
Yeah. Battle of ideas off top. Yeah.
For sure, right?
Nah, that's definitely real.
Definitely real.
And the mission, like I'll do anything to get this mission, like that shit. Like, I feel like that's real.
I like it.
Maybe.
I like it.
We crying and shit.
I relate to that. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta have a good cry.
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
Crying. It's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Because I care about this shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. And if it doesn't come together the way it needs to come together, you gotta feel a certain way about that.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna do one more aspect in the chart, the sextile between Mars and Uranus, which says possesses exceptional energy. Is your grind nonstop?
Is that what it's saying?
It's kind of what it's saying. Exceptional energy, my friend, applied towards your goals.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, again, it's like I could be lazy, right? But in the overall, it won't be because I'll be like, yeah, it's like at the end of the day.
You got to know when to turn on and when to turn off.
I feel like everything I'm trying to do is, it's like towards the end goal, you know?
What would you say is that end goal?
Even if I'm like smoking weed or some shit, I'm still like on my computer like typing notes. Like, all right, wait, we got to do like random notes. Like, yo, it'd be ill if we did this, or just you know what I mean.
What are the next moves?
Exactly.
Plotting your path.
Trying to plot it. You know what I mean. So I feel like it's always kind of on my head type of shit.
Well, to that point, what are the next couple things we can expect from yourself, Mr. Wiki?
Yeah. Well, we got the next thing really from me besides touring and trying to put out videos for this album is me and my homies got an album coming out, Secret Circle, which is me, Antoine, and Lil Ugly Man, and that's something that's a long time coming, and that is we're basically almost done with, and that should be coming out like early next year. So I think, right? I don't fucking know. My bad, I fucked up. But yo, that shit gonna be. I was like, oh shit. But nah, the Secret Circle album about to be fucking crazy. It's Lil Ugly Man, Antoine, and Wick. It's like
Secret Circle.
Secret Circle, yeah. So that's like that's like my next main focus for like, in terms of like some shit I'm putting out, you know, or we're putting out. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
That shit's gonna be sick though. I'm really excited for it, just to be part of another group and like be able to just like play my role in that group. You know what I'm saying? And like be able to build off other people. Just like what you said, it's like what makes doing the solo thing dope. It's what makes being in a group fun too. You know what I mean? They're both like dope in it for those opposite reasons almost.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Anyway, Mary Jane, about that time, we're here with Wiki. New album, No Mountains in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Keep your eyes peeled for the Secret Circle.
Yeah, Secret Circle.
And
touring, we'll be touring, and videos will be out. And
touring, videos, all kinds of good stuff.
Merch.
You got it all.
Wix at Enterprise, all the merch about to be crazy.
So I think we'll take one more question from the audience before we wrap up. What's your favorite album out right now besides your own?
My favorite album. Wait, what do they mean by out right now?
That's out right now, not an album that's coming out, but an album that you can peep right now on Spotify or iTunes, Apple Music, on the radio. What's your favorite album right now that's besides your own? What are you bumping? Anything good? Teach the people. They want to hear some good music tips.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No pressure.
Sorry. But I'm saying so that it can't be like something old, right? Like now, like current, like.
I'll let you do old if you want to do old.
I don't want to do old. Off top, you gotta get that new Antoine, bro. That Antoine mixtape. That shit just dropped.
Respect. Antoine mixtape.
Yeah, man.
Check it out.
Off top.
Don't sleep. Well, Mary Jane, About That Time, Wiki, thank you so much for coming through. Weekend Box, thanks for sponsoring. THC Design, thanks for sponsoring. We had a good time at About That Time. Wiki,
thanks for
respect,
having
my
me.
friend.